Live, and this is season 4, episode 9, Bug. We're almost finished with this season,
Yeah, we
and
are.
we're almost there to the epic season finale of the season. But here we are talking about Bugged, and basically in this episode, it is more of the cartel and Gus. And not only that, Hank is still on the trail with Gus and seeing what he can find about him.
Yeah, it is. And we're also seeing one thing we see on this episode, the teaser. I love the teaser of this. For this episode, we see this pair of glasses laying on the floor. One of the lenses popped out. One of the lenses is popped out.
Yep.
There's blood dripping on the floor. We see a pair of shoes, which are Walter's, by the way.
Walt's shoes.
Walt's shoes, but we don't know what's going on, so.
We see blood dripping all over everything.
Yeah, we see blood dripping all over everything. So that's the teaser.
I love the teasers. They are great. They are the best teasers.
So we wonder, what's going on here? Who's bleeding and what's going on and why are glasses on the floor and things like that,
When you first watched this, what was your reaction?
I was just I was like, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Who did this to Walter? Because it's Walter. You know it's Walter because about his shoes.
Yeah. I mean, and the teaser. I mean, the teaser is just a perfect setup for the whole episode. I mean, it
is.
And it makes you wonder. Oh, what's going to happen next? I gotta watch this episode just to see what's going on. I mean, it really sets it up.
It does.
It draws you in. That would be what I would say about it. It draws you in.
And that's what these are supposed to do, is to draw you in, so that you can be hooked on the show and watch it.
And Breaking Bad, I can't think of too many shows that do it better. That do that better.
Yeah.
As far as drawing you in to see what the hell's going on here.
Well, X-Files is another.
That too.
Series that can draw you in pretty good with the teasers.
Mm-hmm.
But going forward, Hank and Walt is going back to Polos Hermanos to get the bug, hence the name of the whole episode, the bug that was planted on Gus's car. And there was not much on that bug. It was just Gus going back from his house to the restaurant, and that is interesting to Hank. He wants to see why this is just going to those two places and not anywhere else.
Yeah, it's only going from, Hank points out later in the episode, this guy owns 14 restaurants. Why is he only going to 2 of them?
Yeah. Well, he's going from his house to the restaurant. And that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we also see one point in the episode. We see Walt at Hank's house. Walt is at Hank's house, and they're talking.
Yeah,
and then as Walt leaves, he sees Tyrus sitting in his car because Tyrus was following them.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls up beside Tyrus, rolls his window down, calls the police, and talks about a suspicious man sitting in a car watching the house, watching Hank's house. And I guess Tyrus was reported, to the cops. He probably left before the cops got there. But it's like Walter was just kind of daring and like, yeah, I'm gonna narc on you to the cops. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, basically he just did that to get Tyrus away. Because he's afraid that Tyrus is going to kill Hank because Hank is on the trip.
Yeah, I mean, and Walter seemed to have genuine concern for Hank at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, even though also not only did he have concern for Hank, he was also trying to, I guess, in a strange. Well, he was protect. Well, I think he was protecting the business. He was protecting the business.
He's protecting both
Because,
Hank and Gus.
yeah, he's protecting the business because he could be implied also. He could be implicated.
Yeah. So
Some.
basically, yeah. So Walt is basically protecting Hank and Gus. He's taking Hank, and he's basically trying to lure Hank away from Gus. He's trying to.
Yeah, I think that makes sense that he would. Yeah, I think that's what he is doing. He's trying to lure Hank away from Gus.
I'm talking with Ellen. Go ahead and continue.
Oh, okay. And we're also seeing, and we also see a little bit more of. We see Jesse. Now they're at the plant, or they're at the
The
laundry,
laundry. Yeah.
and we see Walt and Jesse talking outside. And Walt asks him, have you had a chance to do it yet? Or do you have a cigarette?
Yeah.
Walt actually asks for a cigarette, but he doesn't
Yeah.
inhale. That's something that Jesse points out. He's like, you're supposed to inhale those.
Now, what I thought was interesting was how Walt was holding it. He was holding it like the smoking man on the X-Files.
Yeah, he was. He sure was. I noticed that too.
I mean, I like to see Bryan Cranston back on the X-Files.
That would be cool. But we see them talking. They're just casually talking. The camera, of course, is right on them. The security camera. So they know. So Walt knows they're being watched. And Jesse does too. So they're being very careful about what they say
Mm-hmm.
because they've got eyes on them.
Yeah, most definitely, because Gus is watching them. It's bugged. I'm sure. I'm sure they're picking up their. I'm sure it's bugged and everything.
Mhm.
Now,
And also, Tyrus and Mike are showing up there. They're actually in the lab, with Walt and Jesse. And then later on, we see Jesse at the distribution plant, and that's when all hell breaks loose. We get the guy shot in the head.
yeah, but before that, Skyler is at the car wash.
Yes, and
And
Ted shows up.
Ted
Yeah,
comes back after.
but not only that, Skyler's skimming off the top.
Yeah, we see Skyler basically frauding the whole car wash business, and then that's when Ted comes in, and then Ted is like, "I'm having." Basically, he wants money. He's having problems with the IRS, and the IRS is auditing him.
Yeah, he wants Skyler to uncook the books.
Yeah, exactly, and that is not possible. You cannot uncook books.
No, you can't. Is Ellen gonna be able to make it, or did she say?
She's having issues. They said she said there's an error saying not authorized to start the video call. I told her to log out and log back in.
Okay. But before this, we see Walt being. Skyler called him and told him how that business was good and that things were starting to, that they were starting to turn a profit.
Yeah, and I think she was lying about that. I think she just wanted him to hurry up and get out of the business. I think
Yeah,
that's the only reason for her to say that.
I think so. And then also, Hank calls him and early in the morning, and he claims that he's got explosive diarrhea because Hank had found out that somehow Hank had seen that.
Hey Henry, send Ellen the link. See if she just send it. If you can, send her the link.
I don't think I can not on this tablet anyway.
Well, she says she's going to reboot her computer.
Okay. But
I don't want to
anyway,
talk. I don't want to talk too much about Breaking Bad until she comes in.
right? Yeah. But I mean, I'll mention about Hank as far as Hank calls Walt wanting to go to the distribution center because somehow Hank finds out about the distribution center.
Yep.
And
and he wants to go there so that he can basically surveillance the place. And Walt basically calls up Mike and says, "Hey, Hank is going to go to the farm of where the chicken is. Be on the lookout."
Yeah, and Mike doesn't really say anything. He just clicks, hangs up. Which is that is standard Mike.
Yeah, Mike basically, he probably already knew that Hank was coming to the farm anyway. That's why he hung up on it. He probably already knew that.
Yeah.
Walt's just on something he already knew.
Right. Yeah. Because Mike is he's got the guy's got connections. We know Mike's got connections.
Mike is a professional.
Yeah. Mike has connections, but we see Walt giving the excuse that he has explosive diarrhea and that he can't take him. And Hank talks about wanting to get a ride with somebody else, but then Walt decides, no. I think if you give me 24 to 48 hours, that I can do it with that I can help you out.
Yeah. Well,
so
Walt has to basically be there because Hank, like he said, he'll get anybody else to take him, but Walt has to take Hank so that he can basically lure him away from potentially catching on, because Hank doesn't have much to go on right now. So Walt has to be the person to take Hank.
Yeah, and we'll see that later on. We'll see later on that he tries to take, that he is asked to take Walt, or Walt is asked to take Hank there.
Yeah.
And we see how he reacts, how he what he does.
Exactly.
No spoilers here, but trust me, he does something that.
I think that's the next episode.
I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it is. So basically, I mean, and then we have Jesse, is at the distribution center because they're trying to clean it up. And he's talking to Mike. Mike's got one of those black lights. He's scanning the place to make sure there's no traces of chemical or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, he finds one spot. He says, he asks Jesse to clean that spot. And Jesse's talking to him about he's talking to Gus. He's saying, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? What's going to happen to Mr. White?
Yeah, he's talking to Mike, and he's basically asking, is he going to kill Hank? Or is he going to kill Walter? Because if they do, there's going to be big problems. And basically Mike is saying, why don't you ask Gus yourself? And we'll see that later in the episode, that we see Gus and Jesse do a sit-down. But before that, the cartel is on the property, and they're shooting people. Gus comes out there, and they don't shoot Gus because Gus is a very important factor in all this.
Well, and this is Gus's real "come at me, bro" moment, because
exactly. He's like,
he spreads his arms. It's like, "Come at me, bro."
Come at me, bro. Exactly.
That's what I describe that moment as, the "come at me, bro" moment.
Yeah, exactly. But the cartel can't kill him because Gus is needed. He's the key. He's important. They can't kill Gus, and they know that.
Right. No, they can't. Well, they can't do it without permission from Don Eladio. Don Eladio would have to give the permission.
Exactly, and he hasn't given the permission yet.
Yeah. And of course, we're going to see Don Eladio. Well, we already saw him last week.
In
And
a
we're going to see him.
flashback, but we'll see him
Yeah,
again next week.
he and Tio. We see he and Tio
Salute.
in flashback. Yeah, salute. Yeah. But so let's see. Basically, I mean, let's see. And Walt has been taking that tracking device and putting it on Jesse's car.
Yeah. So Jesse's been Walt's been tracking Jesse, but we haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
We haven't got there yet, but we get to the IRS meeting between Ted and Skyler and the IRS guy.
I hope Ellen comes on so we can discuss that a little bit further because
we need Ellen on this one. While we
yeah,
wait on Ellen, let's talk about Gotham for a little bit. I like Gotham. Gotham is kick ass.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Gotham. This past Monday,
oh my god.
They released the Penguin because Professor Hugo Strange, brilliantly played by B.D. Wong.
Oh my god, he is awesome.
Law and Order SVU. He declares the Penguin sane. He says, "You are perfectly sane."
Yeah, after all the medieval torture he gave him.
Yeah. And we saw the Penguin hallucinating his mother, was played by Carol Kane. And he's released and he goes out back into society and everything, and he's supposedly sane and all this stuff. Although, remember, at first he said, "No, I think I prefer it right here." The Penguin kind of felt safe at Arkham.
Yeah, I think he felt more comfortable in Arkham than he has out in the world. But Hugo Strange is like, you know what, you're sane, go ahead and go out and do on your own thing. But I think Strange is up to something. He's up to something.
Of course he is. Of course he's up to something. I mean, this guy is an evil genius. I mean, if you ever read the comic books, any especially the old comic books, the classic Batman comics, he was very much a mad scientist type. I mean, he was creating hybrid humans and huge monster men and things like that in the classic comics. So this guy was very much a Dr. Frankenstein type.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, he's freaking insane.
I mean, and that's kind of the stuff he's doing with Indian Hill on Gotham. He's kind of trying to make hybrids and trying to bring people back to life and all this stuff.
I think he's going to bring back somebody to life. He's got to bring back somebody to life because he's got the freaking Jerome, Gallivant, and Fish Mooney in those freaking chambers. So he's got to come back to life.
And that Firebug also, the woman who was.
Oh yeah, Firefly.
Yeah. So if he brings back Jerome, then maybe it's true that he does become the Joker. Maybe Jerome does become the Joker.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why the Joker could never die. It's because of Hugo Strange experiments on him.
That's always possible. That is always entirely possible. That Jerome is the Joker. And of course, there's a Breaking Bad connection to Gotham because Jerome's father was played by Mark Margolis, Tio.
Tio, exactly.
Yeah.
But also in Gotham, Bruce is ready to kill this guy, Matches.
Matches Malone, yes.
Yes, and we get an epic showdown between Matches and Bruce. I think it was a really strong showdown.
Mm-hmm. And I watched. I said, "Now he's not going to kill him. He's not going to kill the guy. The guy, no matter. I mean, the guy did the most evil thing to him he could, but he's not going to kill him."
Yeah, if I was Bruce, I would be like, you know what? If you don't tell me who paid you, I would not kill you because the guy wanted to die anyway.
Well, see, Alfred was the one who wanted to kill him.
That is before he got his ass kicked by.
Oh yeah, I know. That was awesome. But hey, Alfred eventually did kick his ass, though.
He did.
Because I mean, we're talking about a guy who's former, was it MI5 or something like that, British Special Services.
Exactly. Yeah, I know, but I like this Alfred. He's more really badass than any other portrayal of
Yeah.
Alfred.
And his father, Sean Pertwee, his father was the third Doctor. Doctor Who was the third Doctor Who, or second. I think it was second or third Doctor Who. John Pertwee. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see him. To see Alfred utilizing his background,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was pretty damn cool. But yeah, I mean, and then we see, what's his face?
The Riddler.
The
Riddler.
Riddler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Gordon is basically questioning the Riddler about Chris Kringle's disappearance.
And we see Enigma starting. He's really starting to.
Really become the Riddler.
Hey, Ellen.
Sorry about that. That worked.
It worked. I don't know what's wrong with Google.
I don't know, but I'm glad the invite worked.
Yeah, Ellen, we talked a little bit about Breaking Bad, but we were talking about Gotham before you got back on. So.
Oh, that's okay, because I'm not up on that.
I know, but we wanted to save the stuff about Skyler on this episode of Breaking Bad for you.
Oh, yeah, I tried to put on some bling for her here. I actually, at the risk of being TMI, have a pink bra on, too, and that was just a coincidence.
I mean, you're not going to show cleavage, are you?
No. No.
Yeah, Ellen, I actually took the plunge and got Netflix, so I got to see it on Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
So I have Netflix now, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you owned it all.
Finally, we all got Netflix. Jeez. Took you long enough, Henry.
No, when I got flooded, though, when my house got flooded, what happened was I had, so I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of my stuff because it's got this bad smell on it from the flooding. So.
Ooh.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's damage you just can't undo.
Yeah.
That's tough. I've lost stuff, not in a natural flood, but
anything important, Henry?
Yeah.
No, I saved all the important Bigfoot stuff that I had. So.
Yeah, I mean that's all. Yeah, you got to save that Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah, you start to embrace things like egg crates, milk crates and whatever, to always put stuff up if you can.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, talk about a little bit about. We were actually Shane. We were actually about to start talking about the Skyler scene where she and Ted are at the IRS office.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite. That's got to be one of the best Skyler scenes ever.
Ted is facing he's facing some pretty serious stuff. He's facing jail time.
Yeah,
Skyler, again, Skyler utilizing her
sex appeal.
Yeah, her sex appeal. She's got cleavage, and she's this acts real ditzy blonde and all that stuff.
She's putting on the bimbo.
Exactly.
Bimbo.
The bimbo act.
And she's doing it for a really good reason, so that this auditor says, all right, I see what's going on here. This isn't purposefully, defrauding the government. This is a bimbo.
Her stupidity.
And a guy who's hot for her. And
ignorance of the law is what she called it. She said it was ignorance of the law, which is not criminal.
Well, at least there wasn't any intent. Mm-hmm. So he still has to pay, but at least they've disposed of the criminal aspect of it.
Yeah.
And this is in her interest. This is in Walt's interests, in order to keep this all going. And if Ted doesn't, and I'm like, poor Skyler. She has to keep talking to brick walls. She's, trying to explain to Ted, and we'll see this go on, that Ted, there's no way out of this. You have to pay, and you don't go to jail. Good deal. And she goes through that a lot with Walt too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
we did also touch on a little bit of Skyler kind of skimming off the top at the car wash. Also.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the fake transactions?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's laundering the money.
Yeah.
And she's doing it in real time. Having that whole fake conversation and ringing it in. It's not like she's like scribbling it down in the books.
Now, what's the difference between her doing that at the car wash and her doing that for Ted?
Good question.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Because basically, Skyler was basically laundering money for Ted. She wasn't aware of it, though.
Yeah, she was more, it was more like tax evasion. Actually, what he was doing was making it look like more money was coming in than it was.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of doing the reverse. Where in laundering, you're trying to justify this extra money that's not supposed to be there.
Hmm.
Am I right? Did I just confuse myself? I think so. But I mean, she's refused to sign off on quarterlies, and she's not working there anymore. She didn't want to do it anymore if that was the way it was going to be. But before she started digging into it, yeah, her signature is in those books. So
I see Pandora. Is that Pandora?
Is she there?
I saw her just out of camera range. She was over that way.
Right next to the computer, blocking.
I see the ear.
Yeah. Blocking the air vent.
But yeah, I mean, the Skyler on this episode, I mean, I thought that was some great work by Anna Gunn. It really was. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Anna Gunn, I was telling Shane the other night, I was watching this new series with Gary Sinise called Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. And Anna Gunn was supposed to be on that show. They were originally going to cast her for the show, but they decided to do something different at the last minute. So,
she's in a movie. Yeah, she's in a movie that's out right now that I haven't seen. All right, sorry, you can't block the air. Sorry.
And Aaron Paul is in that movie 999.
999 with Norman Reedus. Daryl.
Yeah. Daryl
with Norman Reedus. Really?
Yep.
Oh my God. So Daryl's with that janky little white kid?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, and we were also talking about Gus's "come at me, bro" moment in this episode.
Mm.
Yeah, basically, like I said, he can't die.
I remember first seeing that, and I had no idea what was going on. That was one of those episodes I had to see again and figure out, what was that? Did he just not care if he lived? I wasn't really sure what was going on in that moment. Of course, now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing we forgot to mention in that scene, Shane, was when Jesse was just standing there and Mike comes running along and kind of tackles him and then they fall behind one of the trucks or something.
Yeah, I really didn't understand why Jesse was just standing there like that.
Yeah.
Stunned?
I don't know.
Jesse's although he's not in that haze that he was before, he pretty much feels like somebody could take him out at any time. And he says, "What? We're open season. Anything can happen with us."
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't trust Walt, and he doesn't trust Gus.
Right. No, he doesn't trust either one of them.
Yeah.
I think he has a little bit more respect. He has respect for Mike, though. He's got a lot of respect for Mike. And I think Mike has a little bit of respect for him, too.
Yeah, he does, but he still holds his ground. Jesse's just clear about what he thinks. He doesn't back down, and he doesn't act intimidated in all these intimidating situations. And he's just not backing down. He's grown a pair.
Yeah, he has. And so later on, he's talking to Mike, and he's trying to thank him, and Mike says, I forgot, Mike says something to the effect of, next time there's bullets flying around, don't just stand there.
Yeah, exactly. But
all I can think is he was stunned. He expected DEA agents. He didn't expect, a cartel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were cleaning because they thought law enforcement was coming after them. And it wasn't going down that way. And, he could have felt like he was a target. I don't know if he really processed what was going on, knew what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that, Ellen. Yeah, he was just kind of. Jesse was just he was. I think he was a little bit confused by what was going on. He's like, DEA wouldn't just shoot people randomly.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Although, was it just a convenient plot device? There's got to be a reason for it.
That sniper. That sniper, when he had Gus in his sights, and he realized, oh yeah, not supposed to shoot him. He just kind of nods a little bit, and then that's when he leaves.
But he shoots. He just makes sure he misses him.
Yeah. He was basically sending warning shots.
And they're just all right around Gus's feet. Gus is just like, oh.
I know. That was a great scene where he just like I say that I call that the come at me bro scene.
And of course, in the one that I missed last week, we got his backstory and know why he is the way he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna take that kind of. He's gonna be the big guy. He's not gonna. There's nobody he cowers down to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, he's not scared of the cartel.
In the whole show, I'm trying to think if there was at any point, any situation where he was not the alpha. And I don't think so.
I can't think of any situation where he wasn't the alpha. Except for, and we'll get to it in the
flashback. In 1989, that was supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And, Shane and I've read interviews with Giancarlo Esposito, who said that Max, it was implicated that he and Max were gay lovers. So
we talked about that.
Yeah, and actually, I think the official answer is it's not really defined one way or another.
That's up to the viewer interpretation.
It's up to the viewer, and I actually think it's perfect because, in a sense, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It really doesn't matter what they do to, as consenting adults. They're the same people. I just thought it was perfect that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, you can, if you want, by making us wonder, it makes you realize that it has no bearing on how you judge their characters, and it makes no difference. Although, the only difference maybe being, Gus's anguish.
Yeah, that kind of, I agree.
If Max were his lover, then, that's the kind of relationship that it's a more devastating loss than, say, just a friend, which is still devastating.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, this is really, really part of your life. This is all your life. And the way he reacted was kind of like he was losing a mate.
Yeah.
Losing his lover. But who knows?
Yeah. Let's see. Shane and I were also talking about how
He has kids, by the way.
Yeah, he does have kids. Interesting.
We never see them, but it's mentioned.
Yeah, he did mention kids.
Yep,
So,
that's true.
Again,
So anyway, Shane,
Better Call Saul. We need Gus on Better Call Saul to help us figure all this out.
I'm just blown away by Mike doing the things the way he did with Tuca.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just very, very smooth. These revelations coming out when he goes to buy the gun and all these cameos. It's great.
It is.
Yeah, the weapons dealer, Crazy Eight.
I wasn't surprised because I kind of expected him, but I thought he'd have a bigger role than that. But boy, he was not.
We still got a couple episodes left, Ellen.
I know, but he was he was cowering in that chair. He was not the confident Crazy Eight we saw.
Right, yeah.
As soon as I saw that Tampico van, I'm like, could this be Crazy Eight? This is Crazy Eight.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised because when they first said that somebody early on in the first season that we'd never see again, and I thought it had to be him because he was a really important character where Walt was concerned at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a very interesting character. He wasn't the stereotypical gangbanger.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, don't forget, we also saw Ken Wins, too, so he was another character from season 1.
Yeah, that was...
They used Ken to throw us.
Oh, and I love when I heard Brother Man, and I didn't see him yet, and I was like, he's there.
Yeah. And of course, when we get into Better Call Saul, from this past week, we have another callback to Breaking Bad.
Yeah. We do? Next week?
This week.
No, I'm talking about this past week's episode.
Oh, this is mind-blowing. My roommate called that from seeing him from behind, and I'm like, how?
The way he pulled up his pants.
Really? I think that's what he said.
Yeah, because Vince Gilligan was talking about that on the Insider podcast, and he said that everybody was like, I knew it was Hector because he was the way he pulled up his pants.
Which we only get to see in last week's episode.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe the other one too. The other scene with when the cousins were little, the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But mostly he's in a wheelchair going ding 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 ding.
Right.
I'm like, how did you get that? Because I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, me and Henry was messaging, and we both thought it was Gus.
Yeah.
I sort of thought Gus by the boots for some reason.
Then I was like, you know what? What if it could be Hector? And Henry was like, oh no, it's not Hector.
He was.
Yeah, I was
wrong.
wrong.
He hasn't had his stroke yet.
This is
right now.
English.
Hmm?
This is the first time we hear him speak English.
That's right, on the show. Yeah. So remember, he spoke Spanish in the flashbacks on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who he's talking to, but he was talking to Mike, so.
Yeah.
He'll speak English with Mike. But he did a combination, I believe, in that 1989 scene when he kills Max. And of course, to his family, he'll speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's spelled to the DEA in English.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're going to see more of that later.
Yeah, definitely. He's coming up pretty soon. Hector's coming back pretty soon.
Yeah, that's going to be funny. Go F-U-C.
Oh my god! All right, so finishing up on this episode of Breaking Bad, Jesse goes to Gus's house and prepares him a meal and asks him if you can cook the formula. And basically, we're going to go to Mexico next week.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know how to cook Walter's formula about that? So, yeah.
And Jesse sees through him. Gus is trying to brush it off. No. This is just cartel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Walt has decided, Gus has to go fast.
Yeah.
When they bring Mike and Jesse bring back a body to Mel. Yeah. Walt's like, yeah, this isn't working out. He is the black sheep. He's the only one who's not in with anybody.
Yeah.
And his relationship with Jesse is strained. Even if he got Jesse on his side, and Jesse said, "Yeah, I'll kill him," and now Jesse's sort of pulling away.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it all goes to hell by the end. And
big fight scene that
awesome fight, yeah.
Great fight scene.
Yeah. Well, now when they bring the body in, Walt is saying, "Is this another one of Gus's
messages?"
Yeah, messages. And Mike tells him, "Shut up! Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth!" And Mike says, "Just go get a barrel. Oh, the next time you want to call the police on one of my men, you
better get two barrels."
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So this whole epic confrontation is going to basically come to an end next week.
Uh-huh.
The whole salute.
Anyway, But now we can talk about the big fight between Walt and Jesse, because Walt goes to his house. He knows Jesse's been lying to him. He's got the tracking device.
Jesse's pissed.
Yeah.
But you know who had the most adrenaline in that fight? Walt did.
Yeah.
Because he was really Jesse really should have been able to have the upper hand most of that fight. And a lot of times he didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Walt was pumped by adrenaline. He was pissed.
Well, Walt was pissed off because he knew that Jesse's been lying to him.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He lied to him last week, saying that he never saw Gus. And then he bugged his car, and he found out that he met Gus and had dinner with him. So he's really pissed off at this point.
He was there for 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Walt counted it.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I think at this point, Walt would probably do anything just to kill Gus. He might even kill Jesse just so that he can kill Gus. At this point in time.
Oh, he would, I think, because as far as he's concerned, Jesse's turned on him.
Yeah. I think so.
Jesse is doing more protecting of Walt than the other way around.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, but the other thing was Mike asking Jesse if he minded if anything happened to Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse just says, nobody cares what I think.
Uh-huh.
But the real answer is, no, I don't give a crap because I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Then again, he's Walt's brother-in-law, so no.
Well, if anything happens to Hank, Walt is going to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
He knows that Gus killed him. If anything happens to Hank, he'll know that Gus was up to it.
And basically, the one thing that kind of triggers the fight is Jesse tells Walt he's having to go to Mexico to try and teach these cartel chemists how to make the formula, how to make the blue crystal meth. And Walt says, "So what's going to happen? You're going to go there and are you I forgot what Walt said to him.
Something about signing his death warrant?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but after that, he said Walter said something else, which sent Jesse off. I said, you're going to go down there and screw it up, and then you're going to wind up in the barrel, too?
Yeah.
And then Jesse threw the tracking device at him, and it cut him.
Oh, he said that if you're going to go to Mexico and screw it up like I know you will.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said.
That's how Walt got left. He is left out everywhere he turns.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse, he's not recognizing this. Like I said about the state of mind Jesse's in, he's just real, and he's not acting intimidated by anybody, and he's not taking any lies at face value, and he's calling people on it. This is not the time to pick at Jesse's self-esteem like Walt likes to do.
Yeah.
Because by knocking him down, he makes Jesse more dependent on him. And when Jesse is more self-confident, then he doesn't need Walt as much, or by the end of this, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, they get into this big fight, and
GTFO.
Yeah, get the F out, yeah. And by the way, that's uncensored on Netflix, so.
It's not?
It's censored. It's uncensored.
Oh, okay, yeah, because my roommate, I was watching it, he's like, oh, I guess Jesse got the F-bomb, and I'm like, well, maybe not, because this is the DVD, so.
Well, no, on Netflix, it's uncensored, so.
Yeah, it's always uncensored on Netflix.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just one F-bomb a season.
It might be.
It is, but on Netflix, it's different. It's not like
Netflix is like HBO.
It's one uncensored F-bomb a season.
Yeah. But on Netflix, it's always uncensored.
And speaking of which, there's going to be a little bit of. I have a little bit of news to share later on. We start talking about Walking Dead and Negan.
Ooh.
Oh.
Should we do Walking Dead now or Better Call Saul?
Let's do Walking Dead, because basically that was it for Breaking Bad. I mean, they just got in the fight. Jesse told him
basically, this leaves the groundwork of Jesse going to Mexico with Gus and Mike.
Yeah.
But with Walking Dead, really strong episode.
Oh, I'm just looking at my notes, and the little things about Skyler, like last week, she was trying to hide the money because it was that issue where this is too much money to launder, and she was trying to hang it, and then that doesn't work out. Laundering money, if you're doing laundry, you put it in the closet, right? Anyway, ends up putting it in the crawl space. Wakes up, she's sleepless in this episode, wakes up and just like stares at the money in the crawl space.
Yeah.
She's got an idea, and this is gonna, that's gonna be interesting, but she's just trying to keep it together. Oh, who said it? Somebody in the commentary called Ted a pussy. I think it was Melissa Bernstein, and Skyler doesn't like Ted anymore. It's like, Joe doesn't like Ted anymore. Vince called Gus a badass. And, those are all the little things that I can now close out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, Walking Dead. Oh,
Walking Dead. This episode was basically a bottle episode. It was just Carol and Maggie.
Bottle episode?
With some members.
It was ladies' night.
It was. And we had Alicia Witt playing Paula.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I pointed out to Shane that she had been on Law and Order Criminal Intent for one season.
I had to look her up. I'm like, how do I know this face?
And she was
a lot of episodes.
Also Sybil Shepherd's daughter on Sybil. She was on that show.
2.5 Men.
Oh, she was on 2.5 Men?
She was on 2.5 Men, I think, for like 2 episodes or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But she's really good looking.
She was
not
in
in this episode. Not in this episode, but
she was in a movie called Urban Legends, also a horror movie.
You know, last 2 weeks we stupidly, because I don't want to pay for all this extra TV, and so I wait and find my ways. But we wanted to watch it at 9, so 2 weeks in a row we go to this Chinese place, sit in front of a TV, drink, eat, play Keno, and I'm like, by the time we spend all this money, I could just pay Comcast. But we sit at the bar, and the bartender's like, everything okay? And I'm like, yes, Maggie and Carol survived. Everything is great.
Yeah.
It was tense.
It was. I mean, and I told Shane, I said, now Carol is not afraid of anything, although she was kind of putting on the act of being afraid this week.
Yeah, she was. She was definitely putting on an act.
She gets to do great work. You know, like pretending when they arrived at Alexandria that she didn't really know how to handle a gun, and, you know, that whole persona she put on. And Maggie is like looking at her like, kind of like, not with concern, but like, what are you doing? You know, what is the point of this?
Because, I mean,
to keep
after the crap that Carol went through with her husband and all that, and
well, she's got that death diary too that we saw in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
People that she killed.
And by the way, Carol has a new nickname, Queen of the Apocalypse.
Oh,
Queen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick named her that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm Talking Dead.
Well, I saw an article where she was TV's Actor of the Week.
Nice.
For her work.
She's really good. Melissa McBride is great. I think she is terrific.
She gets a big range. Her character has gone through a lot of personality changes. She gets to do these things where she's pretending something that's not true. And she's just, oh my God, one of the greatest examples was The Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And just how she handled, I mean, when Lizzie and, have we gotten that far yet? Yeah, we're talking about, we're past that. When they come back and see that Lizzie's killed Mika.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, yeah, we can let her turn. We can wait, and you know, I'll tell you. And she's trying to keep it together. And as soon as Lizzie's back's turned, she breaks down.
Yeah.
And when she kills Lizzie, I mean, her reaction was just so realistic, gut wrenching.
It really was. I mean, that was just tremendous. You know, that episode. My God, that was
a strong episode.
Mm-hmm.
That to me just proved, you know, that was the one big, that, you know, this is the post-apocalyptic world, folks. Mm-hmm. You don't get kids like this help. You put them down like rabid animals, and it's the only thing you can do, and that's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's big.
It was amazing. But anyway, you know, we see, you know, Paula and her band, as it were.
Group. They're part of Negan.
They're part of the Saviors, yeah.
We are all Negan.
We are all Negan, yeah, which indicates...
That's a cult right there.
Yeah, it is a freaking cult. If they're all saying we are Negan.
Yeah. And when Carol said, please don't hurt Maggie, she's pregnant, I was like, why did you say that? You know, because that's just like more leverage, but it was because she was talking to a group of women who had lost things.
Yeah.
And just, you know, just read those characters and decided that they would have sympathy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Although it didn't seem like it.
3 women and 1 guy, you know, in that
guy was dead. Group. Guy was dead.
Yeah, he was killed off.
Yeah, so it was all women in this episode.
Well, what happened was he bled out, and what they tried to do is they tried to put a tourniquet on him. And
yeah, they basically it was late. They was late cutting this arm off.
Yeah. That's what they should have done to begin with, like they did with, well, they cut Herschel's leg off. Then
That's
they also
what Maggie brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they cut Tyrese's arm off.
Yeah. I like the whole shot. It was a point of view shot. It was a point of view of Carol and Maggie, and they had the jacket over the camera.
Yeah, those were good shots. Yeah, I like those shots. After they were captured by the Saviors. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. A Carol and a Maggie.
Oh,
And the only thing that kept them there was that trade.
Someone put up a meme on Facebook saying, "We have a Carol and a Maggie. You may see Rick doing this. It says, 'You're all gonna die.'"
But both of them, Carol's been going through this crisis of conscience. The diary, counting how many people she's killed, and even telling Paula, run, just take off.
Do you think that Morgan is getting to Carol?
That's, you can't help but wonder.
Yeah.
Or if it's just independent of Morgan, it's, what kind of person am I? And then you've got, isn't it Paula who said, you're not good people. You got to know that. You're bad people.
Yeah, she essentially said, "Yeah, you're not the good guys."
Because Carol was just taking people down as necessary, and all of a sudden, it's like she's not liking it.
Yeah.
And maybe she would like to kill less. Maybe she doesn't want to jump to that, and she tried to get Paula to go.
Mm-hmm. And when Maggie killed that older lady, my mother said, "Oh, damn, must be her hormones."
Yeah, it was the hormones.
Because she's pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the hormones. It wasn't like the whole capture and threat of death thing.
Hormones are
fine. Although, all right, I could attest it. You're probably more likely to kill somebody if they piss you off while pregnant. Yeah.
And it was a combination of both hormones and being captured.
Well, then she broke down too, and she's like, I can't do this, and I don't know what she means. Does she mean the same thing as Carol, or is it just this fighting all the time?
Good question.
But I mean, I think Rick's right. You got to do something about these people, or they're just going to find you first. But they only skim the surface, apparently.
Yeah, there's definitely more people ahead.
I mean, it was. I mean, when Carol and Paula were struggling, and then I thought, "Oh my God, is this it for Carol?" But no, she managed to get through it. Impale Paula.
I just kept thinking, this is it. They've been focusing on Carol and her death count and all of this, and they give her this great episode, and they do all kinds of great things. They could have killed her. It would have been a great episode to kill Carol. Carol protecting Maggie.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. Thank you.
We got 3 episodes left, so
that's stressful. I haven't. Last time I was this stressed about TV was Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
especially season 5, 5B. Total stress.
Yeah, definitely. But especially with all the rumors going around about the last episode being, really bloody, violent.
It even says something in on IMDb in the description. There's like episodes with no description, but the last one has one. And it's something about Negan's brutality, something brutal that he does. Is this Lucille?
Yeah, somebody is getting the back.
Yeah, don't forget when they went to that compound, Glenn saw those pictures of the guy with his head bashed in.
Yeah.
With their heads bashed in. Shane and I thought, could that be foreshadowing, perhaps?
Oh no! Is that what? Because that's what Negan does.
Well, we thought
go ahead.
we thought maybe that maybe it won't be Daryl that gets his head bashed in. Maybe they will follow the comics and it'll be Glenn.
Glenn sees it, but Glenn saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Glenn saw the pictures. Right. Yeah.
And he's the one who found the bat where Noah used to live. In that neighborhood.
Speaking of Noah, the actor that played Noah is now on that new Criminal Minds spinoff, Beyond Borders.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And I also brought up something really brutal, that Negan is going to take the bat and basically hit Maggie in the stomach with it.
Mm.
And cause a miscarriage. Yeah.
Miscarriage. Walking Dead, Red Wedding.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, because Shane and I, we thought about it. We said, what could be besides killing off one of the main characters, what could also really establish Negan as this absolute prick, this asshole?
And why else? Why have an ultrasound?
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary for any particular point that we can see.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
he would not have to kill Maggie. He wouldn't have to kill Maggie. He just caused the miscarriage. You know, by
that
hitting her
would be pretty brutal.
With the seal, yeah.
But yeah, she could die from that as well.
She could, yeah, but I mean, obviously I think someone's gonna get their head bashed in, no question about it.
Well, if it's gonna be a bloodbath, there's gonna be a lot of people dead.
Well, maybe not. I mean, it may be just one person that gets Lucille.
I'm gonna have to take the Monday after that off for morning, or go in late, or something.
Yeah, something.
But anyway, I mentioned earlier about them shooting the season finale. Now they shot that particular scene two ways. One with Negan full bore cursing, and one with without, and with more blood and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, this new miniseries that they have on FX, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, they have dropped a few F-bombs uncensored on TV. And there were those who thought, well, maybe AMC might be able to get away with it. Because
they still get that one a season, right? Just like Breaking Bad.
Right, Breaking Bad, yeah, because I understand that some episodes of Breaking Bad, they had uncensored F-bombs, like in the first episode, the pilot episode, had an uncensored F-bomb. And I thought, well, since this is Negan, and this is true to his character, will AMC allow an uncensored F-bomb, or will they mute it? Because they've done that before with Call Saul. Remember when Jimmy called Hamlin a pig fucker?
I think it's FCC rules. I don't think they decide.
Yeah.
And I don't know why HBO is exempt, but I don't pretend to know these things anymore.
But there were those who speculated maybe they will have Negan actually say the F-bomb, but they'll mute it before he says it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because it would be really stupid if you said something like, freaking, or, flipping. I mean,
of course, it's
not realistic.
I think when they release it to Netflix and also to DVD and Blu-ray, it'll be uncensored. So that's why they shot it.
Yeah. Like Breaking Bad had more F-bombs than we saw on TV.
Right, yeah,
and then when you watch it unedited, you see it. But when you air it on TV, the FCC has rules, and it's not, because Vince Gilligan would have been happy to make the language more realistic all the time, but
yeah,
they had those rules. And I wonder why HBO gets to do whatever it wants.
Yeah, well, Showtime does too. I mean, all those those basic cable channels, or they're not basic cable. Those are like
premium.
Premium cable. Yeah, so I think the rules are a little bit different with those.
Yes. I think that because since there's a subscription, you got to pay for it. They can do anything they want.
But now IFC airs movies with full-on language and violence and all that. The IFC channel, they don't censor anything. So
Tipper Gore hasn't been around to monitor this stuff, I guess.
yeah. Anyway, I saw up at Walmart a few days ago. They had Breaking Bad. They're now selling them in they're selling them in double packs. Like you get season 1 and 2 in one set, seasons 3 and 4, and 5A and 5B. They're like $25 a piece. Oh yeah, you got the box set.
My baby.
I'm holding out for the barrel set until that comes on sale.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So I think that's pretty much it for Walking Dead. I mean, I don't think we missed very much.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, the only person that died in these episodes was Negan's gang, and that Carol. She's on a morality crisis.
Well, how about the very, very, very end when that guy who was what was his name?
He called himself Negan, and Rick shot him.
Yeah.
Primo.
Yeah, exactly, and in no time.
Yeah.
Now Rick knew it wasn't Negan. But just because that guy's totally different place than Carol is right now.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So, I'm a little confused about Better Call Saul. I can't think of one episode to the next. You guys talked about the really great one last week.
Yeah, Gloves Off was last week. This week was Rebecca. I wasn't expecting to show up.
I know, that was a nice surprise to see Tuco on Gloves Off. I was like,
he's been on before, so he was kind of like, I was bummed there was no Gonzo.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, where's Gonzo? Where was our good friend Jesus?
I know, really.
Yeah.
Well, he might be on.
Didn't see Tio showing up, but should have. So Mike's in deep because, Hector is one bad dude.
Yeah.
I think Mike really expected that Hector was going to come after him. Because he said...
I don't even know if he knew who Hector was.
Because
maybe he did.
He said last week to Nacho that if you kill Tuco, you're just going to open up the Salamancas. They are going to come after you. Even though Tuco didn't die, Salamanca still came after him.
You can probably see, yeah. I got a visitor.
Your cat, Henry?
Yeah, he's been hanging around with me since I've been staying in here with my mom. He been hanging around with me.
Who is? What is?
My cat, Ty.
Oh.
My black. See, look. See? There he is.
Oh, hi, kitty. Where'd you go, kitty?
He's a sweet kid.
Who's your good
But anyway, this week on Better Call Saul, we had
good kitty.
We had Kim continuing to be in the now your cat shows up.
I said who's a good kitty, so I am.
We see Kim continuing to work in the cornfield, as it were.
Yeah. And it was all Chuck's. It was all Chuck.
Well, no, Chuck. Didn't Chuck say to what's his face?
Hamlin.
Yeah, is she out of the doghouse yet? And he's like, he said no because he really felt that she was enabling Jimmy.
Yeah, but Chuck doesn't like Jimmy, so he's going to do anything he can to basically phase Kim out. He can't punish Jimmy, so he's punishing Kim.
Yeah. But we see at the beginning of Rebecca, we finally find out where the name Rebecca came from.
Chuck's wife.
Yeah, it was Chuck's wife. We see a flashback of Chuck, and he's using technology. He's using lights. He's using
Mm-hmm.
and all that. They're making dinner. Jimmy's coming over.
Now, what I like about it in them flashbacks is that they use a different color style. For Gene, they use black and white. When they're back in the 90s, the color style changes, and which is fantastic right there.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
And there's Chuck setting up, for, oh, you're not gonna like my brother. He's a loser.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
And they get along really well. And so I'm wondering what is going to happen with Rebecca. Is she gonna take off on Chuck because he's such a dick? Oh.
Now, what I realized is that Chuck and Rebecca, their relationship reminded me of Jesse's parents. The way they both acted in the beginning. They had the music going on, and the way they talked. I'm like, oh my God, Jesse's parents 2.0.
Yeah, there was a bit of similarity. Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
I think with Chuck and Rebecca, it's just the way they are. That's the music that we listen to. We're refined, successful, educated people, and that's what we do. They're kind of like Gretchen and Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jesse's parents were like purposely trying to figure out all the right things to do. I don't think it became natural.
Mm-hmm.
I think they thought about it.
And Shane and I were PMing back and forth, and I was saying Michael McKean is so great. I said I couldn't see another actor playing Chuck. He is just great. We
liked him so much in the beginning.
Shane and I, we saw him on an episode of the X-Files, 2-part episode of the X-Files, and he was great
on the X-Files.
Yeah, so
great episode.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of stuff.
But the person that replayed Rebecca is Ann Cusack.
That's Joan Cusack's
sister.
Joan and John Cusack. That's their sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
How come I didn't see a resemblance? Oh my God, I love Joan Cusack on first few seasons of Shameless. One of the best characters on TV ever. She was fantastic. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't see a resemblance.
Yeah, I mean.
Huh.
And we see the flashback. Jimmy and Rebecca, they're getting on pretty good. He's telling lawyer jokes.
Yeah.
And what Bob Odenkirk is great. I mean, he had them fast deliveries of them lawyer jokes.
Oh yeah.
Great delivery.
Freaking brilliant. I mean, he was the one that came up with the cobbler stuff.
Oh yeah, his mind's always churning, and he is not suited for the firm that he's in.
No,
he's not.
Right.
He doesn't want to play by the rules. It's like, you remember in House, Shane, when House thinks he's gotten together with Cuddy.
Yeah.
And he's telling Wilson about it, and Wilson's like, "That's great. So how are you going to screw it up?" And House like several good options. That's Jimmy with this great job.
I was watching House today. They have it on WeTV on Saturdays. They have
they got a marathon.
Yeah, they have an entire day of House on.
Well, going into the episode, I mean, when we see Jimmy in the bathroom with the guy that used to be his DA friend or whatever you want to call him, Bill. Jimmy doesn't realize how good he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got the office, he's got the car, he's got everything.
Yeah, he just feels squashed. He feels like his hands are tied.
But it doesn't. It's not Jimmy. It's not him.
Yeah, he wants to be the free bird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when I saw Bill, I was like, "Hey, there's Bill from last season." Yeah.
Yeah, and everything. He goes through the whole list of everything he's got.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy's not the least bit happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it Jimmy said to Mike? What the hell happened to you?
Now I like the Jimmy's babysitter, Erin.
Oh yeah, Erin.
Oh yeah.
She's great. Great character. I'm glad they added her.
He ditched her the first night.
Yeah.
Because he went over to Hamlin or H and
Went to Kim to talk to Kim about suing Hamlin and McGill.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Kim was like, no, I don't want to do that. She said, I don't want to do that.
And then Jimmy comes back with this great thing. He said, "Oh, I have GERD."
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, is not even a good excuse. It means you have heartburn. Doesn't mean you have to run to the bathroom. So it was silly.
Oh, that was funny. When he said he had GERD. He told Erin he had GERD.
At first, I thought he just made that up, and then I looked at him like it's a real disease.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got a lot of patients with that. I use that code all the time. It's freaking heartburn. It's chronic heartburn. You take Prilosec.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else happened on this episode?
Kim basically went out on her own to get more people involved with the Sandpiper case, but it ultimately backfired.
Because a good result doesn't matter. Following the rules matters. Mm-hmm. He's not down with that.
Yeah.
Good work doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. It's all about following the rules. And Kim, she brings in this great client. Mm-hmm. And that's like, very good. Now get back to doc review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like was the whole confrontation with Chuck and Kim. Great scene.
Yeah, she makes some coffee, and they're sitting there drinking the coffee and all that.
And Kim basically asked if she had a part in this firm, and Chuck didn't give him an answer. Give her an answer.
Just tells a story.
Just tells a story about him and his dad and Jimmy.
Yeah, that Jimmy stole money from his dad's business, and then it caused him to go bankrupt, and his father died 6 months later, and nobody cried harder at the funeral than Jimmy.
Yeah, which was not an answer to the question. It was a way of saying, I'm not answering your question because you're not going to like the answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's lawyer, and she's too smart for that. And so Chuck is treating her like she's stupid too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting, that of course they had to cut off all the lights at Hamlin and McGill.
Yep.
Chuck showed up. They had to cut everything off.
I like this season. I like that we see Chuck more in the office instead of him sitting down in his house. I like that we're seeing Chuck out.
Yeah, we do see a lot more of him going to the office. That's always interesting when you go, seeing him in the office now more. Obviously, because he can wear the jacket with the space blanket inside it. Yeah. That was an interesting dynamic.
I think maybe Chuck feels threatened because he's got this debilitating condition, whether it's real or psychological, and and Jimmy doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he didn't have it when he was married, though. He did not have it in the flashbacks. No.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how Chuck gets that disease. And with them renewing to season 3...
I think it's more psychosomatic than anything else. Mm-hmm. I think it's more Yeah. By the way, yes, there will be a season 3. It was
announced.
Yeah, there is going to be a season 3 of Better Call Saul.
It's going to be 10 episodes too.
Just like the last few. Oh, by the way, BCS is on Netflix. Better Call Saul is on
the
Netflix.
First season, finally.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah, but you're going to have to wait a whole year for season 2 to get on there, though.
Okay.
They do have they have the entire run of the X-Files also.
They've got to see this all the way through, and I'm hoping for some more flash forwards, the black and white flash forwards.
Me too. And me and Henry were talking about that last week about the black and white stuff. If they do a Gene episode, they have to do it in black and white. That's the only way they can do that.
And the music is very old style, and it's so interesting because it's in the future.
It's depressing.
Right.
Well, the utilization of music is very important on this show, like it was on Breaking Bad, like it is on The Walking Dead. The way they utilize different music on The Walking Dead is just amazing. Now, this week, they had a Spanish version of My Way, which was playing also.
Yeah, during the montage of Kim.
Yes, during the montage with Kim, right, yeah. And I PM'd to Shane, that's the Spanish version of My Way.
I gotta start watching this just once when I'm tired.
Because I recognized the tune. I said, I recognize that song. Even though it was in Spanish, I knew the tune.
I think I kind of remember saying that. Yeah.
And then we see Mike at the diner, the same diner.
The diner.
Yeah.
And we hear the bell. We hear a bell. Vince Gilligan said on the podcast there was going to be 2 bells, but they changed it to 1.
I did hear a bell, yeah.
Yeah, it was the very first shot of Mike at the diner. You see the bell and the person saying order up, but there was going to be 2 bell sounds.
Wow, so the bell was a clue.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's when Hector shows up, basically, I think he was telling Mike to drop the charges, basically.
He wanted Mike to drop the gun charge and have him.
No, he wanted Mike to take because as far as the police are concerned, it was Tuco's gun, and they want Mike to say it was his gun. He wants Mike to say it was his gun, and he's like, "But that's a charge." And yeah, we'll give you $5,000. Well, no. No, that's not how that works. You'd have to give a lot more money than that.
Yeah, he's not going to do it for $5,000. Forget that.
No.
Yeah, but but Hector is not exactly going to be. Yeah.
Mike is high dollar. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is big drug kingpin saying, "You're going to do it my way, and you're going to like it."
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing we saw was Mike talking to his daughter-in-law, asking, how does Kaylee like the new place?
Yes.
Aren't they at a hotel?
It looked, they're at a hotel. And I was thinking, is that the same hotel that Walt was staying at?
Might have been. It might have been another callback.
Is the pool?
Oh, that pool.
Really interesting. Yeah, the pool.
That he skimmed because he was so used to doing that at home.
Yeah, he got the Band-Aid out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is that the same hotel that Walt was at?
That's fine.
I don't know.
When you go from owning your home and doing stuff to just being a tenant, that stuff's not your responsibility. Yeah. I've done stuff around my apartment, and my landlord's like, "You don't have to do that, I'm like, "Force a habit. You could say thank you, whatever."
So essentially, I think that was it for Better Call Saul. I don't think we missed anything.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Shane and I, we kind of thought this episode was a bit lackluster compared to some of the others that have been, some of the other BCS episodes.
Yeah. But, after that epic episode last week, we needed We need a little palate cleanser. We need to calm down a little bit. Because next week...
Oh, my God. I mean, it all just laid out, and you didn't see it coming. You know? Yeah. It was just so subtle, the way it was done. When he wanted to buy, was it an M40? And it was the wood versus the fiberglass or plastic. And Mike says,
Vietnam.
Jungle.
Yeah.
And you're like, Vietnam. He's a Vietnam vet. So he doesn't want to kill somebody if he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Because Vietnam vets had to go through a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he would rather have his face pulverized.
Now, we mentioned that. I brought up inside a podcast. They said that whole black eye that Jonathan Banks is sporting was actually CG. It was a mixture of makeup and CG.
Yeah.
It looked horrible.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, he got pummeled. And then he took one more shot as the cops came. Is that all you got? Because he knew if he said that, Tuco would punch him in front of the cops. Done deal.
Yeah. But I like how they use that as the story of how Tuco meets Skinny Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because now he's going to go to prison.
He's going to go to prison for 5 to 10 years.
Oh, it's going to be that long? It's got to be less. It's got to be less than 10 years.
Well, something's going to happen because it's going to be 6 years.
2002, and 2008 was when Breaking Bad came about. So we're talking 6 years.
6 years. So Mike might actually take that gun charge and accept that.
And then lose his job as a parking attendant?
Might.
He
and
might.
then that in return will probably meet Gus.
But this Monday.
Oh, the previews. The preview for the cousins.
Yes.
What?
You didn't see the preview?
No.
Oh, the cousins. They show the cousins' boots.
Oh
yes.
My God.
Yeah.
Really?
They did.
They're gonna have to be some young boys, because they were. I mean, how old were they?
They got to be in there.
Could have been more than 30.
Exactly. So they're probably in their 20s. Maybe teenage.
Wow. I didn't see the preview.
Oh my God, you missed it, Ellen. It was
yeah.
Shane and I were furiously PMing the cousins.
Oh my God, real life has to stop being so busy so I get to do all this stuff. But yeah, I didn't see it.
You can see the preview on AMC. Go on AMC and check the preview out.
I'm gonna check it out. And then tomorrow night we have all our good stuff.
Yep. Walking Dead tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And my Shameless.
Oh, by the way, my birthday is a week.
Put that on Netflix.
My birthday is a week from today, and I am going to do the bacon thing again. 46.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's gonna be tricky.
I saw Ellen. You did that with your bacon.
You gotta do the turkey bacon.
I wish it wasn't. I wish it was 46, but yeah, that 6 is gonna be tricky. You're gonna have to do small pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much it for all these shows that we discussed. Next week is episode 10, and it's Salute.
Salute. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait for Walking Dead tomorrow night.
All right, so it is next week, because last week I was like, yeah, we're not doing this for a few more weeks, and then I saw the thing come up on Facebook, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not ready.
Well, I got to do it because we're going to discuss Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I felt so bad. I was like,
that's okay.
How did I not know that? Next week.
Next week, yep.
Yeah. It'll be every week.
All right, good night.
All right, you guys.